All right, we're going to talk about net neutrality, okay? And what they're trying to get it to appear to be like what really actually is, and the underlying current from the ripples of this effect, what it really entails, okay? So let's get into this. Forbes released a comment today. The new FCC commission formerly worked as a lawyer for Verizon. His plan to eliminate net neutrality is a bigger gift to Verizon than anything he's ever done. In just a few weeks, the FCC will vote to eliminate net neutrality. The vote isn't in doubt with Pi in charge. The anti-neutrality votes will have a 3-2 edge. Without net neutrality, the net service providers will be able to charge web companies for fast lanes. That's right, your internet ISP will be allowed to bundle websites just like they bundle channels for cable, stuff like that. Of course, they claim they will do no such thing, but let's get real with it. If net neutrality goes away, it could be harder for new content providers to thrive. Higher fees for lousier service. Does this sound familiar? That's how cable companies have operated for years. Not surprisingly, virtually everyone hates this idea except for the cable companies themselves. No one wants this change except a few large telecom companies. Interviewed by The Nation, former FCC Commissioner Michael Kopp said, "There can be no truly open internet without net neutrality. To believe otherwise is captive to a special thing." Okay? Let's look at it. Let's talk about this. Okay, so the former FCC head was against it. The new one, however, is all for it. Okay, it's a handful of telecom companies. Now, no matter how you slice the pie, we're in a capitalistic corporate nation in America. No way around it. You can't tell me otherwise. Money is rule pretty much everywhere. Okay, you can't suppress that information because it's broad. The thing about everything is real simple when you look at it from that position. Trump will sit there and say, well, these terrorists need to be off of the internet, and that's what the government has actually tried to do. Whenever some terrorist attacks were, presented, and we got to get these guys from stop recruiting over the internet and all of this other stuff, that is a ploy. It's basic censorship. It's a basic violation of American rights. I'm not too concerned about what other countries do because it doesn't forefront affect me. I think that people that are, living in poor conditions and under a dictatorship that is unfair, that's wrong. But I'm talking about here in America as the main part. So the issue is not so much, they're going to tell you that they're not going to, but there will be companies that bundle services. There's just not going to be a way around it, because when you create a dam, you're going to use the dam. Okay, Hoover Dam runs. Okay, it was created. Things are in place. You use that and you utilize it to whatever advantage you have. What net neutrality does is it offers the common man a voice. It's supposed to. I get stifled quite a bit. A lot of people do. It allows the everyman an opportunity to put his business online and to market it and to create a business for himself. Okay? And that's what this country was founded on. That's what the draw is. And if net neutrality is abolished or goes away, where it's home for a lot of people, we have very big problems. First of all, what it will do is it will leave somebody to decide what is proper and appropriate and how things should be ran and delegated to the general populace, the everyman. So that means that if I have a great idea, or say, I decide anything small that anybody could do, knickknacks, make jewelry. There's a lot of YouTube videos that promote how to create your own jewelry. You have these small individuals that profit. They have if you go through the right channels and do it properly, I'm all for it. If you want to sell jewelry out of your garage and on the internet to provide for your family, you should be able to do that. But what's going to happen is Nordstrom's is going to pay for that glamour. They're going to get that hot spot. They're going to say, "Well, we want to be over." It's just like commercials on television. The person working out of the garage can't afford advertising, and that's why the internet is so crucial to the small people with little bitty power, little bitty banks. They rely on their own ingenuity and their own marketing. And what net neutrality, the abolishment of that would take away from that. That's what it's all about. It's all about corporate control of what reaches the everyman. It's all about money. It's all about money. Don't deceive yourself for a minute. You might get sidetracked and think that, well, the main thing is taken away from the rights. But what the big issue is it's corporate controlling America. And the businessmen, that small, being pushed aside. Furthermore, it's a way to keep the balances in check and in order. Okay? You can theoretically try to tell me one way, but if you logistically, logically, intelligently break it down and look at it, you've got to ask yourself these simple questions. Who prospers for it? Who gains from it? Who is actually gaining by censorship of the internet? Who prospers? And that will tell you what the agenda is. Always follow the money. Always.